All right, so 11.1 is simple interest. So this section talks about the interest you can earn um, if you were to deposit some money or interest that could be earned on a loan or something of that nature. So simple interest formula. All right, so your simple interest formula, I equal to PRT, P times R times T, where I is your interest earned, P is your principal, so that would be your deposit or your loan. R is your rate, so don't forget to convert that to a decimal before you do your calculation. And T is your time, and that's in years unless otherwise stated. All right, first problem, calculate the simple interest earned in 1 year on a deposit of $1,000 if the interest rate is 5%. All right, so establish your variables. So P is the deposit of 1,000. R is 5%. Convert that to a decimal by moving your decimal place 2 spots to the left. And time is 1 year. All right, so P times R times T, 1,000 times 0.05 times 1. And that'll be 50. So you earn $50 interest with these conditions. right, so the next one, calculate the simple interest due on a 3-month loan of $2,000 if the interest rate is 6.5%. All right, so the first thing we want to look at is the fact that it's a 3-month loan. So when we talk about time, and I told you that it was in years. Remember, your rate, or not your rate, but your time is in years, unless otherwise stated. And we'll see an example of what I mean by that. But that means I need to convert this month to years. So if I had 24 months, if I wanted to convert that to years, 24 months is 2 years. The reason why we would know that is because we would divide it by 12. So the number of months tell me that to use 12 months in a year. So that would be 2 years. So the same thing as if I had 17 months. I would just take the 17 divided by 12, and that's how many years I would have. That would be converted to years. If I had weeks, 19 weeks, I would put that 19 over 52 because there are 52 weeks in the year. And if I had, let's say, 137 days, see if they hold you guys to banker's rule. So we know there's 365 days in a year, but actually we would use 360. And that's called banker's rule. So those extra 5 days, I read somewhere where it said that they left off 5 days because of 5 major holidays. And then I've also read another place where it says it just makes it for easier calculation. So either or, doesn't matter. 360 is what you guys would use. All right. So with that being said, let's go ahead and establish our variables. P is 2,000. R is 6.5%, 0.065. And then T is 3 months, which means that would be 3 over 12 years. All right, so now the interest earned 2,000 times 0.065 times 312. If you wanted to reduce that, you could, but it doesn't matter if you're throwing it in the calculator. That'll give us 32.5. And since we're dealing with money, 32.50, $32.50. All right, any questions? All right, let's see. All right, so calculate simple interest due on a 2-month loan if the interest rate is 1.5% per month. All right, so the key here that's different than any of the problems we've done up to this point is that my interest rate is per month. None of my other interest rates, if you go back and look, had this statement per month. So remember I said that we were going to assume that things were in years unless otherwise told. So since rate is per month, everything we were looking at is per month. That means I do not need to convert this 2-month time period to years because we're looking at it in terms of months. So P, did I not put the, oh, I left off loan of $500. Sorry about that. Let's see if I can squeeze it in here. Loan of, all right, so calculate simple interest on a 2-month loan of $500 if the interest rate is 1.5%. Yep, left off at 500. All right, sorry about that. But P is 500. My rate is 1.5%. Move the decimal 2 places to the left. So it's 0.015. And time is 2 months, yeah. And once again, since it says per month, my rate is per month. This loan is in terms of months. I do not need to convert my T to years. So I can just go ahead and calculate with the numbers that I see. And that'll be $15. All right, calculate the simple interest due on a 45-day loan of $3,500 if the annual interest rate is 8%. All right, so it's the last one like this before we add something else to it. So 3,500 for P, rate is 8%, so 0.08 for the decimal, and then time is 45 days, and that'll be 45 over 360. years. All right, so that's 3,500 times 0.08 times 45 over 360. Multiply that out, and we should get 35. All right, questions. All right, so the future value or maturity value, those are the same thing. That would be A. That's the new variable we're introducing into this relationship. A is the future value. So basically, when you add your principal and your interest together, that's the future value or the total value that's in your account after a certain amount of years. So that's another way of saying it. Uh, I'm going to write it down. So the total amount. So it will be the total amount of money in the account or is owed after T years. Because remember, we're talking about either putting it in an account or it's a loan or something of that nature. So that's what another way of looking at what future value or maturity value is going to be to us. The total amount of money in the account or the total amount of money owed after T years. So that's why you add whatever it is you put into the account plus the interest earned. That's what the P plus I is. Or you add, the initial amount that you loaned plus the interest. So the other way of doing it is P times 1 plus RT. Same thing. Both of those formulas are the same. It's just that if you already get calculated I, then you can just add it to your principal. But if you haven't calculated I yet, then that's what the second formula will do for you. All right, so let's put it to work. So calculate the maturity value of a simple interest 8-month loan of $8,000 if the interest rate is 9.75%. All right. So I'll show you both ways of doing it. One way is to calculate the interest separate and then add it to your future value. And then the other way is to use the formula, the second formula that I gave you. So we'll do both ways just to show you how they work. So if you want to calculate the interest, then we'll do, as always, is establish what PR and T will be. P is 8,000, R 9.75%, 0.0975. T is 8 months. So it means we'll have 8 over 12 for years. All right. Calculate your interest. Mm, 8,000 times 0.0975 times 8 over 12. Multiply those three numbers together. That's 520. All right. And then let's go ahead. So now to find a future value, maturity value, A plus I, 8,000 plus the 520, 8520. All right, any questions? All right, so we're going to calculate the maturity value of a simple interest 3-month loan of $3,800. Interest rate is 6%. All right, so let's establish our variables. P is 3,800. are 6%. T is 3 months. So that'd be 3 over 12. So I will use the other formula. Like I said, it's your choice. If you want to calculate the interest first, then add it to your P, to your principal, or use this relationship, P times 1 plus RT. So that's 3,800 times 1 plus 0.06 times 3 over 12. If you have a calculator that you can put it all in like this, you could. If you want to do it in a few steps, 0.06 times the 312, 0.015. Let's see, what's that here? All right, just making sure. And 3,800 times 1.015, and that would be 38.57. All right. Also, if you want to know the interest that was earned, if you knew what your maturity value was, you could subtract the principal from it. So here, they didn't ask for this, so I'll just throwing this out here. We may need it later, but all right. Maturity value, our future value is 38.57. Our principal is 3,800. So subtract the two. $57 was earned. So my interest was $57. All right. Questions? We got one more. One more out of this section. All right. So the maturity value of a 3-month loan of $4,000 is $4,800. What is the simple interest rate? So notice what we're asking for this time is not the simple interest, but the simple interest rate. So let's write down what we do know. Our future value or maturity value is 4,800. Our principal is 4,000. Our rate is unknown. Our time is 3 months, which means 3 over 12 when it comes to years. Couple ways of doing this. One way, I think one of the easier ways is to find the interest first. Remember we said if you know your future value, maturity value, and your principal, you can subtract them from each other to figure out what the interest earned was. And in this case, it's $800. Where did I get 4,800 from? Okay. Yeah, there's gonna be a lot of money. I want to make this reasonable. I made a mistake for 4,800, and that's gonna be a lot of money to earn in in 3 months. It's actually supposed to be 4,085. So the only reason I'm changing the number just because I wanted to be reasonable. So other than that, leaving it at 4,800 wouldn't have been a problem. We just calculated, but like I said, I wanted to be reasonable. So once again, change that 4,800 to 4,085 for the future value. 4,085. Now I didn't realize until I got here, started calculating that that was a lot of money to be earned in 3 months. So 4,085 minus $4,000 will give you 85. So it was $85 that was earned in 3 months. So we still want to calculate the rate though. So don't forget your interest rate or your interest earned can be calculated by P times R times T. We can plug in what we know. 85 for I, 4,000 for P. R we don't know, but T is 3/12. All right. So on that right side, 4,000 times R times 3/12. We can reduce that by going ahead and multiplying the 4,000 and the 3/12. And that would be 1,000. And now we'll divide both sides by 1,000 to solve for R. And R is equal to 0.085. Yeah. And whoever sign will let you know if they want it in decimal or percent form. All right, questions? Any questions, concerns, comments? Let me look at something real quick before we close out. Point two. Okay. All right, so it's 8:46. This class gets out at 9. So we can, let's see, do we want to do that? Hmm. Okay, this is what we'll do. Next class, we only have one more section left. So this next test is actually on, this will be test 3 for us. So make sure we see test 1 was 7.1 to 7.5. Test 2, 9.1 and 9.3. Test 3 is 10.1 to 10.3, 11.1, 11.2. So instead of going into something new right now, which would just be 11.2, I'm going to pause right here because once we close out 11.2, then we'll be looking at another test. So next class, we'll do 11.2. And then, so we're looking at Tuesday, we'll do 11.2. Thursday is your review day. You can ask whatever questions you want to ask from any of these sections that we've covered. So we want you to take advantage of that day. I won't do anything new. Yep. Questions, concerns, comments on what we're doing, how we're going to handle things moving forward.
I have a question.
Yep.
So 12, like since we're on 11 right now, 11 point whatever, so after 12, like, are you gonna like still teach, because like that's all we have on Webasign?
Check that. It should be a 13 as well.
Okay,
Um, it,
okay, okay.
yeah. Supposed to be 12 and 13. But with that being said, we are still probably, as far as lectures are concerned, gonna finish a little early. And so, if that occurs, and well, I'll say it like this: when we went all the way to December, we normally finished a little early. Since we're cutting it short in November, I guess we'll have to see. So this new timing that they're giving us now cuts class time a little short as far as days are, but not necessarily timing. So we'll see. We'll see. I'm just trying not to throw a whole bunch of stuff at you guys if we don't have to. You know what I mean? So that's why I was trying not to pull. That's why I pulled back, not necessarily doing 11.2 today. But if we do have extra time on the end, then what I'll do is just leave. I mean, we will meet every day. I will meet here every day, but I will give you the option if you're good to not necessarily meet. But I'll be here every day answering questions and all that good stuff like that. But I will not make up new content. I won't find new stuff to teach you guys. Once we close out new lecture, um, that's in the syllabus, then we're good as far as that is concerned, and we'll just be reviewing and answering questions moving forward. Yep, no problem, no problem, no problem. Try to do whatever I can to help you guys out. So if you guys are good, I'm good. I will see you on next class, and have a great weekend.